Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. We are finally back to Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast for possibly the last stream of this game before we move on to the sequel. Now, I don't know, I have no idea how long this is actually going to take. I will say right from the outset that the final boss, which is Desan, is actually really difficult if memory serves. So we'll see. We will see how long this one takes. But either way, it should give me plenty of opportunity to yap at you guys about all sorts of random nonsense. But particularly though, I will say new video is out, linked right below in the description. If you haven't seen it yet, open it in a new tab, give it a watch, and then we'll chat about it. It's about ways that we can delineate different degrees of moral blame or moral culpability, and it's a fascinating topic that I was first. Desan, which is different from Dizan, different people entirely. This is an only slightly purplish dinosaur man, dark side acolyte. Dizan, spelled differently, also alive like 20 years earlier, give or take, was a much more purple, a non-force sensitive criminal man. Different fella. Thank you, class. Though yes, I know I did not make that connection when I came up with the character's name, so my apologies there. But oh gosh, I have to go back through all of my controls, don't I? Oh jeez. Okay. All right. Been a little bit. I know it has been. It has been like 3 weeks. So as a little reminder, we just got underneath the Jedi Praxium on Yavin 4 through that little hole in the ceiling. Excuse me. On which note, a couple of things about this. So one, the various tunnels and whatnot underneath the Yavin Temple complex have several appearances that I can even that I can think of, that are actually relatively significant through the Star Wars EU. First of all, here obviously goes without saying, but then also two major instances that come to mind for me, at least. One was during the Yuuzhan Vong War, when the Vong take over Yavin. They invade and take over Yavin, and Anakin Solo, that's Han and Leia's youngest son, is teaming up with a Yuuzhan Vong former warrior, became shamed one. What is his name? I love this character. I forget his name though. He only appears in this one book. It's Force Heretic. I can't remember. I forget his name. But he's very cool. He's basically a shamed warrior who is trying to regain his honor among the Yuuzhan Vong, and he and Anakin go down into this underground chamber, which may in fact be this very chamber for all we know. No, because there's a lake in it, so it's not this one. There's an underground lake in that chamber, so it's not this one. But they go down into this underground chamber in which Anakin rebuilds his lightsaber using a Yuuzhan Vong, what's called lambent crystal, which is a little... which is a little... it's basically a little crystal that gets grown in these like, basically little patties, like rice patties, basically, by the Yuuzhan Vong, that basically the work is... Oh my god! How do I switch force powers again? There it is. There it is. Okay. I did not catch the rocket. Don't give me credit there. I did not. Had I caught it, I could have force pushed it back, but I did not do so. Oh, come on, really? Okay, cool. There we go. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Anyway, so that's one instance of this, these deep tunnels underneath the Jedi Temple in Yavin 4. What was the other one? There's another major one that I was just thinking of, but... Yeah, it was another relatively significant, but late. It was late EU. It was, when was it? Oh, right. No, it wasn't that late. It was actually right before this. So it was right before this. It was in the Jedi Academy trilogy and also in iJedi. It was when they were messing around with the spirit of Exar Kun, as you point out, Klaus. It was when Luke brought a bunch of his students down deep into the tunnels. Oh, jeez. Down deep into the tunnels to basically a hot spring. And in this deep hot spring tunnel, everyone was sort of sitting around meditating, receiving visions of the stars of the galaxy. And then everybody notices that there is about to be this burst of extreme heat that is going to cook all of them alive. And so this is basically a training exercise to get out of the water before it becomes scalding hot and kills everyone. This was before Luke did anything, did absolutely anything to keep the students even remotely safe during training. Not even at all. Yeah, Luke was not exactly careful about his students' safety, especially early on. Oh no, did I kill him? Oh no, I hope I didn't kill you. Sorry. Okay. Alright, is this the way through, or is this...
Take him down!
Hello? Where? Where are you? Where are you? Oh. Well, that's not good. Come here. Oof! Okay, well... I'm gonna see if I can go around and go up the elevator. Probably not. It's probably damaged. Class asks if Exar Kun had any tunnels. Yeah, he had his own... Okay, so he had his own temple, but also it's worth noting that Exar Kun was a primary Sith Lord when all of these temples were built. So they're all technically Exar Kun's temples. But if you're thinking of the one where his spirit sort of resided, or at least the one where Corran and then eventually Mara Jade went and confronted the spirit of Exar Kun, and then also where... Oh, what was his name? The other apprentice who got fried went and eventually and first encountered him, first found him. Oh, I can't go there. Worth try. That temple, Gantoris, thank you. Yes, that's it. Yeah, where Gantoris first went to find him, and then where Cornhorn and Mara Jade went to confront him. That temple, I don't actually think that... Excuse me. I don't think it's ever mentioned as having an extensive tunnel network like this one. Okay, well that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Okay. This will work. It's delightful. That is true. We don't see nearly as many extendable lightsabers as we should. I mean, both of Corrin's lightsabers were dual face, which is, I guess, more the technical term for it. There we go.
Keep searching.
Ah. Okay. Okay, well, I can't get all the way up in one jump, so I have to jump over there first. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Okay. I was about to pull him off the ledge, but unnecessary. There we go. Oh, this is the boss fight, isn't it? Oh god, okay. Here we go. I have no shields either. Oh god, okay. This is what? Did everyone just die? What? Does this button just spawn remotes? Got one. Who's purple lightsaber guy? Is that Kip?
Protect the Academy.
Good will always triumph over evil.
The yellow saber, that's gotta be Cam Salazar. That's Kip Duron. Hey guys, excuse me, I wanna use a blaster just so I can look at you guys. Yep, that's gotta be Cam Salazar, right? Either way, neat. Neat that they have at least mostly recognizable characters. Okay, so it's not the boss yet. Not just yet. No. Maybe I'll just go through here. Okay. No, I can't, because it's all saber welded shut. Of course it is. What was that? Oh, I see. Gosh, come on. Ask Kip to beat the bad guys by exploding all the hypermatter tanks. Is that referring to him taking out Dalla's Star Destroyer? Okay, all right. Speaking of Kip Duron and the Jedi Academy trilogy, guess what books I have been reading recently? If you follow me on Twitter or are friends with me on Facebook or in my Discord server or anything like that, you will know, because I've been ranting about it. Because I've been reading the Fate of the Jedi series, which is okay, uncontroversially, one of the last chronologically in the EU. Perhaps somewhat more controversially, it might be my favorite series. It might be my favorite series, despite it being frustrating at times. This is the one most notably with Abeloth, featuring Abeloth as the sort of big bad, but also featuring the Lost Tribe of the Sith, who are somewhat less interesting antagonist, frankly, for fascinating reasons, though.
You must not fail.
Oh, more dudes. How do I get to you dudes?
Protect the academy.
How did they get into this room? How did they get into this room? Like, serious question. Alright, guys. Sweet. Ah. Algorithm. May peace be against him. I hate it. Is this an actual, like, puzzle, or is it just to... I'm just playing around here, I guess. It's just to play around with. Okay. My careful tactic of sneak up behind a distracted opponent and overhead slash. Yeah, there's that, or throw them onto the ground and repeatedly plunge my lightsaber into them. In any case, so
We must not fail.
Excuse me? Oh, well, hi. It really does give the impression of how difficult fighting with lightsabers will be when you've got three, basically, four Force users here who are all swinging lightsabers around in very close quarters and all doing flips all over the place. Good lord. Anyway, the Fate of the Jedi series is interesting as well for not just the whole Lost Tribe and Sith thing, and not just for the Abeloth stuff, but also, and perhaps most interestingly, and certainly most annoyingly, for the current Chief of State of the Galactic Alliance being none other than Natasi Dala, who is like the galaxy's worst example of failing upward over and over and over again. Like, she's almost hilariously incompetent.
There's another.
And yet eventually becomes the Chief of State of the Galactic Alliance. Not even of the Empire. Now, to be fair, the Galactic Alliance very clearly at this point becomes the successor state to the Empire, more so than to the Republic. But, regardless, it's...
We must remain focused to defeat them.
In name, at least, it's supposed to be the successor of the New Republic, which... Hey. Did they just die? Okay, well, I guess it wasn't Kip then, because he's not dead. It was just some guy who also has a top knot and likes to dress in black. That one. Are you kidding me? I got locked into an animation and died. Fuck. I got locked into a slow-mo animation and died. I hate this. One.
This arm.
Again. says, I want to see the story meeting where people put their heads together and figured out how could we make an even more infuriating head good guy than Borsk Valia. I don't know, but they sure as hell did. Well, I know how. By making the head, quote, good guy, who was the character who was the main villain of, like, 4 different stories. That's how. That's how you make an infuriating head good guy, is just put the bad guys in charge of the good guy back. That's how you do it.
We must
Someone? I may have accidentally killed not Duron. Ooh, that was a cool flip. And I died. Okay. Try that again. Yeah, honestly, her, Dala's maddening incompetence is part of why she's so annoying. It's not just because she's obviously evil, which she is, but it's also because she's, like, almost hilariously incompetent at every turn.
We must not fail.
Oh, good one. Good job, not Kip. Anyway, I'm super frustrated by everything about her, and the Jedi should not have put up with her nearly as long as they did. Like, the kind of crap that she was pulling throughout that series, is just, like, wildly unacceptable, and yet no one kills her. It kind of annoys me that no one kills her. I mean, she doesn't live forever, let's put it that way, but it takes a while, okay? And it wasn't one of the good guys who takes out, who essentially is the Empress, the evilest galactic leader since Emperor Palpatine. Aw, it's, again, I was wrong about that being Cam Solusar, but still. Oh, I forgot to save. Shoot. What? Yes, run away, coward. Invisible dudes, I'm gonna save again.
We must not fail.
Hey, buddy. Got one. Wow. These force crystals do exactly. Do they like expand my overall force pool or something, or am I just collecting them because they're shiny and green? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. After everything that she has done, Natasi Dala, who is not just a war criminal, but a hilariously incompetent and madly psychopathic, and nepotistic, largely, war criminal, is the chief of state of what is allegedly the successor state of the Republic. And why I say allegedly is because the Galactic Alliance is basically the successor state of the Empire. Really, it is not the successor state of the Republic. Well, just fourth pusher off a ledge. Who would disbelieve that she just fell? Especially given that Jedi can... evidence suggests that Jedi, or at least Sith, but probably Jedi too, can perform telekinesis at roughly any distance, so long as they can focus on the subject of their power. So you can just be watching a news vid of her on the HoloNet, or Luke can't. Luke is in exile throughout most of the series after the first book, so he can just like turn on a live news feed on the Jade Shadow and just go, "Oops." And then, she falls down a Coruscanti canyon and is not a problem anymore. I think that might be a good idea. Then again, I don't actually think that political assassination is necessarily a war crime. I think that political assassination can be perfectly justified. So, under the right circumstances, I think that it can be perfectly justified. If it is functionally the only way to put a stop to an unjust war, which I think it realistically basically was at that point. If the Lost Tribe of the Sith had not shown up, and then also Abeloth not shown up, and made everything worse for everyone... Oh, I can just do that. Okay. And made everything basically so bad that the Jedi were no longer being harassed by the GA. The GA would have kept harassing the Jedi. I'm sorry, what? What's up with that? Okay, Klaus asks, speaking of tyrannicide, is there any support in Catholic theology for secession being the natural right of a region under a tyrannical representative government? I don't know if there's anything in Catholic theology that supports a representative government, per se. So, yeah, I don't know if it's a well-formed... if it can realistically even be a well-formed question. Partially because I don't think that the Catholic theology necessarily supports a representative government, or has anything specific to say about a representative form of government. Now, that aside, I also would argue that a representative form of government is, I mean, as it's understood in the sort of modern post-Enlightenment context, I think that's incoherent. Robert Murphy has done a lot of good work dismantling the idea of representation in government. Because there isn't such a thing as representation in government. Not in the sense that we mean representation in literally any other context. What is this? What am I poking? What? Can I just... What is this? Hi Grace, how you doing? Maybe I just shoot it. Maybe that worked, kind of. What am I doing? Oh, there's a... Okay, well I needed the small shield booster after I lit myself on fire. Okay. Yeah, but like... What's happening here? I'm so confused. do here? I guess this room was just a trap room, but then where do I go from here? The thing. Okay, so leaving out the river, okay. Well, hello from Grace's TV. Hey. Yeah, but... Okay. Anyway, class continues. Leaving out the representative bit, is there any support in Catholic theology for secession ever being legitimate? Not in so many words, I don't think. I don't know if it's ever laid out specifically. I don't know that it's laid out specifically. In fact, I don't think it is, but I think that it probably could be extrapolated from various legal and governmental, I guess you'd call it, principles in Catholic theology, like the duties of princes, right? So rulers, princes, presidents, whatever they happen to be, rulers have various obligations to their subjects, right? Most obviously just rulership, right? So not committing injustice in the name of their office. That much should be kind of obvious, I suppose. But that also leads us to what is essentially, I would argue, anarcho-monarchism, right? That if a king enforces his decrees, that is to say, if a king enforces anything beyond the non-aggression principle, essentially, what he's doing is committing injustice and thereby undermining the legitimacy of his own rule, and therefore no one has an ethical obligation to obey him anymore, and so therefore secession, etc. That'd be the short little drafty version of an argument that I would make to roughly that effect. Can I just blow out the candles or something? I'm super lost here. I hear something going on here. I mean, there's water dripping through the ceiling. I want to try going back. For backtracking. This little trench thing gives me a feeling that maybe I need to utilize it somehow. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. It's very clearly there for a reason. I'm gonna wait on the shield booster because if that large one, that gives me 50 if I, get myself on fire somewhere. A little cooler fountains. Can I get out? Did I just get myself soft locked? Uh-oh. I may have soft locked myself. Kyle may not be able to get out of water. Kyle! There we go, never mind. We're good. Master Catan, why can't you get out of the water? I'm not getting it. Anyway, like I said, Natasi Dala is really annoying. Really annoying. She's horrible. She's just evil. She's evil and stupid, which is a really disturbingly common combination in Star Wars, frankly. But not that common. Like there are plenty of evil people who are reasonably intelligent in Star Wars. Dala is not one of them at all. She is really, really stupid. Meanwhile, she has a reputation for being this brilliant strategist. She's not. In the book, she's introduced in Jedi Search, right? somewhere in the Jedi Academy trilogy, whatever, she has a fleet of 4 Imperial 1 class Star Destroyers. Now, when Kevin J. Anderson is writing, that's a lot. Okay, let's just clarify that when Kevin J. Anderson is writing, 4 ISD-1s is a big, dangerous fleet. Okay? In addition to that, she also has a prototype Death Star with a functioning super laser. Alright, good so far? Great. She loses all 4 of them for no good reason. Every single one of them to inferior odds. Every single one of all 4 of her Star Destroyers she loses to inferior odds. For some reason. And the reason is that she's really stupid. Oh, well, what in the world? Are you kidding me? What the... Okay, well, it's... They're flamethrowers. That's cool. Oh, hello. That worked.
Your efforts are in vain.
Okay. Let's try this way. It's probably not that way. Try right. Ugh. Wow, that was rude. It was really rude. Right, well, now that I know what to do, it'll be a lot quicker. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Moving on. Oh no, this way. Right. Hey, Imson, how you doing? Anyway, nah, Imson, don't worry about it. This is not class. You're allowed to be late. We're just talking about Natasi Dala and why no one killed her sooner. By the way, I should have noticed that this wall was weird when this didn't... When it's frickin' moving! You see that? I really should have seen that. I should have noticed this. Are you serious? I got toasted again. Why? Why did I make it through so easily the first time? And now... Oh, you saw it. I did not see it at all. Also, this isn't late 90s. This is early 2000s. This is 03, I think. Yeah, that's great. Ugh! Let's try again. Okay, I did get insta-squished by a falling rock. You're right. Rocks fall, everyone died. That is correct. But, like, the second time, I got through really easily. Oh, good. You watched the video where I destroyed the neighbor's bike. That's good. That's good. Nope. Okay, after this burst, I gotta rush it. Okay, I made it through. It was not pleasant, but I made it through. Good lord. My house doesn't look like how you imagined it. How did you imagine my house to look? It's just my driveway. Okay, Imsim always imagined that I lived like Tom Bombadil out in the woods with no neighbors rather than a suburb. Well, too bad. I live in a suburb. Deal with it. Now, to be fair, my suburb is out in the middle of nowhere. I live in a golf course that is, quite frankly, right off the highway, but that's kind of it. There's, like, not much else for, like, 20 miles. Like, our parish is... Where is it? It's at least, like, 15...
Your efforts are in vain.
15 to 20 miles away is our parish, which is, like, the closest thing to here and the little shopping plaza, like, across the street where we get groceries and stuff. But, like... Yeah, it's, Hold on. I'm gonna save again, now that I got past the fire things.
I can feel your presence, Qatar.
That's me! Oh no!
Stand and face me, Qatar.
Woo! Ah. Alright, I have to watch him and see where he goes. This is gonna give me a hint, isn't it? Okay, he's gonna turn right, which mirrored is turning left. Which I happen to know is a pitfall death trap, but I'm gonna see if it is still a pitfall death trap. Yeah, I think it still is. Okay, let's try again. The fire is still fire, though. I don't know if I like this. Okay. Oh. Fine.
I can feel your presence, Qatar. Step.
Basically a mirror. Okay, he's going right. Which that's the pitfall death trap. He went this way. I'm gonna try it. Okay. I shouldn't have tried it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Maybe if I put away my lightsaber, I can... No, I can't. I can't just go through it. Okay. It's gonna show him again? Yeah, it's showing him. Run. Okay. What can I do about this? Well, it's not that. Okay, that's not something I can do about it. There's gonna be a switch somewhere, right? Or something?
I can feel your presence, Qatar. Stand and face me, Qatar.
Very weird mirror. Okay, so... Okay, that didn't... Okay. There's like a weird shape there, though. Okay. No, that's just death. That's just death. Got it, just death. Nothing other than death there. Let's move right along.
Your presence, Qatar. Stand and face me, Qatar.
Oh. Am I blocking him? I see a shadow. Oh, hello. There's a shadow. Interesting. didn't help at all. Speed isn't going to help, is it? I died faster. Like... Okay.
I can feel your presence, Catan. Stand and face me, Catan.
Okay, so maybe the shadow will help me. Then again, I think it just despawns. Yeah, he just despawned. That's literally just a mirror. Hey Puff Puff, how you doing? It's not going so well. Because I know this door is instant death. It's just a pitfall trap to my death. Through this, I mean not door, through this illusory wall. That's a mirror. And this is a pit of fire over here. Completely blocking the way through. Water dripping. Wait. Oh. Oh. Oh, hello. There it is. Probably could have done that in the first room, huh? It does kind of have N64 Zelda vibes, which, ironically, this was a generation later, by the way. This was originally released on... I know it was GameCube, PC, and I don't remember if it was Xbox. Oh, great, it's all over. These just go through each other, right? Yeah. Okay, that's just a loop. Oh, and that doesn't help at all. Am I gonna play the Oblivion remaster? Yeah, probably. Whether I play it on stream, I'm not actually sure. I'm not committed to it. If you guys really want to see it, do let me know. And I'll say, ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy. Throwing money at me is a great way of letting me know that you'd really like to see me do something in particular. So if you really do want me to play Oblivion, like, next, let me know. I will definitely think about that. I am almost certainly playing the next Jedi game. I'm going to be playing Jedi Academy next. I got smooshy. Wait. Alright, I'm just going to ignore the weird reflection thing, and I'm just going to go straight to the solution, because why not? I can do that now. Prince of Persia hallway. Yeah, and I even can wall run. Watch. Not like that. Hold on. I'm going to let me wall run. It won't let me wall run. I need to be in a more open space. But yeah, I can, in fact, Jedi wall run. press button.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this too. Is it because I already got crushed by them once? Is that why? Ow! Jeez, okay. Yeah, Prince of Persia hallway. Oh gosh. I got a. By the way, I have a cold brew coffee tonight, which with little babies, which is nice, very nice. I used to have some very strong, very negative thoughts about iced coffee. But I have come around a little bit. I still don't.
Bad feeling about this.
I'm still a little bit iffy on it in general. But I'm willing to accept iced coffee as its own separate beverage that is not coffee, but it is made of coffee. It's made of the same thing as coffee, right? Like iced tea is not in any way the same thing as tea. They're very different beverages. They're two different beverages. The difference, though.
Kyle
Alright, I'll go
Katarn.
back to it while I'm fighting.
Welcome to the future.
Oh, great.
Your future's
One of
looking
these
pretty
guys.
grim, Dasan.
On the contrary, thanks to you, the weakling Jedi who scorned me will soon be erased from history, replaced by a new race of warriors. Strong warriors, warriors who know that the Force is not a shield to protect the useless, but is in reality a weapon to empower the worthy.
You're just a Sith.
None of that's gonna happen, Dasan.
It's boring,
Most of your
you're just a
shadow
Sith.
troopers are being mopped up by real Jedi. Ones who've been trained to use the Force. The rest blew up with your ship.
What a pathetic ruse. Descend to Fayar. Admiral? Admiral! Admiral Fayar, I order you to come in at once.
Womp womp.
I was wrong about you, Katarn. Your failure as a Jedi hasn't weakened you. It's only made you stronger. Come, join me. You know in your heart that you'll never truly be one of them.
Maybe, maybe not. But I know I won't be alone. How about you, Dasan? Even now, after all this pain, it's not too late. Come, join us.
You weak fool!
No. I'm gonna save real quick. Just, you know, it's a tough fight. Really tough fight.
The Force will betray you to me.
What if I just, like, put a bunch of mines, like, everywhere? And, hopefully I remember where they are, and, don't get dead from them. There we go, cool.
What a pathetic attempt.
Okay, bad idea.
Too easy.
Extremely bad set of ideas there. Okay, cool.
Your efforts are in vain. Does a Jedi run from battle? Save your strength, fool.
Okay, well, Force head explode. Yeah, I would try doing that. It's just that he seems to resist a lot of Force powers, by which I mean, by that I mean that. That's what I mean. There you go. Oh my god.
The Force
Oh,
will
that was
betray you
pathetic.
to me.
I do need these shields, though. Need these shields, though. Excuse me. Excuse me. Just let me grab some shieldies. Oh, that's ammo? What is that?
Dare to push me?
Ooh,
Dare
jeez.
to push me? Save your strength, fool. Your efforts are in vain. Dare and so
Ah!
strong survive.
I have been beheaded. Okay, let's see if I can just... Oh, it starts me over from there. Okay, that's not what I want, like, at all. There we go. Alright, let's go collect our shield still, once again.
The Force will betray you to me.
I'm right here, dude. You can come at me anytime. What did that do? I don't know what that did, but I'm gonna do something about it, because why not? Oh, what? Oh, this way I came in. I guess.
What a pathetic attempt. And so strong
that was...
survive.
Okay, that was really rough. Alright, let's see that again, shall we? Oh, it activates the middle thing. It lifts the middle thing up. That's what that does.
Force will betray
Okay.
you to me.
I don't think that helps at all, but I'm gonna do it. Because maybe it wants me to. I don't know. Here.
Dare to push me?
Not successfully.
Pathetic attempt. Dare to push me?
Jeez.
Efforts are in vain.
Frickin'. The pull is really nasty.
Save your strength.
Ow. Okay, let's try again. Remember how I said that the final boss for this game is actually very difficult? Well, here we go. Let's get this done. I wonder what that is.
The Force will betray you.
What if I'm mind
You
freaking?
deem me weak-minded.
Okay. He just makes fun of me. Okay, sounds good. Come here, buddy. Come on.
What a pathetic attempt. Save your strength, fool. Dare to push me? Pathetic attempt. Dare to push me?
Oh my god.
Pathetic attempt.
How you didn't even swing. Oh god. Okay, so another unrelated thing that I wanted to talk about, that, again, related a little bit to the Fate of the Jedi series
The Force will
that I was
betray
reading
you
and
to
talking
me.
about, is that
Your efforts are in vain.
that there's been a lot of, in the EU, there was a lot of authors fighting with each other
Pathetic attempt.
in the same mode as, like, Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams fighting in the sequel trilogy, but not nearly as bad. But yeah, there was a lot of that sort of thing.
Save your strength, fool.
And it resulted in some really interesting lore bits, right? So, my examples go to... Oh, God. Some of the examples for this are, well, having to do with Ntazi Dala, right? So, for example, we had Dala show up as essentially as a good guy, or at least on the side of the good guys, in near the end of Legacy of the Force, in the Second Galactic Civil War. She shows up on the side of the good guys, right, helping Gilad Pelion and yada yada yada. It's a whole thing, right? But that is
Dare to push me? What a pathetic attempt.
man, no, don't do that.
What a pathetic attempt.
Shields, I need shields. Shields are good. Ow, okay. But yeah, that also leads, of course, to something that I would say is essentially the implication that Luke seriously screwed up in his essentially selection of her, because he did, right? He significantly contributed to her being selected as the Chief of State of the Galactic Alliance. I'm gonna destroy this and see what it does.
Dare to push me? Dare to push me? Pathetic attempt. Run, Cutter! All too easy.
Eat force grip.
Your efforts are in vain. What a pathetic attempt.
Yeah, Class says, yeah, I remember Kevin J. Anderson disagreed with pretty much everyone else on whether vehicle weapons existed that weren't named turbo laser. Yeah, I don't know if that's a disagreement so much as he just called everything a turbo laser. He was just sloppy with his descriptions. That's certainly the case. That's actually quite difficult to disagree with. You know what? I'm gonna try a very different technique here. I'm just gonna try as fast as frick, boy. That was relatively effective.
Dare to push me?
Wow, that was
Sorry,
horrible. Okay, well, I made some progress, I guess, but, like, ouchies.
Does a
Big ouch.
Jedi run from battle?
Yeah. Just give me a minute, alright? Chill. Just give me a second. Gotta heal up, you know?
Does a Jedi run from battle? Save your strength, fool. Dare to push me?
Anyway, so Dala being appointed chief of state was obviously dumb, right? And so this later on just basically gets retconned into Luke made a bad choice. Luke shouldn't have done that. He should not have chosen that. Right. Okay, that does do that. Okay, how about this? Oh, okay. He can deflect them.
Does a Jedi run from battle?
Well.
Run, Katan!
Come on. Bring it on.
What pathetic... Save your strength. Dare to push me. Your efforts are in vain. Your efforts are in vain.
Man, okay. The other big example of this, or set of examples, I guess I should say, of
Betray you to me.
authors fighting each other and it turning into something really interesting is all of the various philosophies of the Force that conflict with one another, right?
Do you flee like a coward?
And then later get retconned as either just Jedi heresies, like named an official Jedi heresies, or in some cases, they basically just get retconned as Sith propaganda. The best example of this is the Potentium view of, or I guess what she called the unifying force view of Vergir, who was essentially a Jedi of the Old Republic. She was the Vosh Jedi who left with the Yuuzhan Vong and showed back up and mentored and tortured Jason for a while. And her view was basically that there is no dark or light side to the Force, it's only the application of it, right? Oh, come on. It's only the application of the Force that is dark or light, right? So it's about intent. The intent of the user rather than the nature of the Force itself, that sort of thing, which is known as the Potentium heresy. It comes to be known as a heresy because, well, it's wrong. And it's definitively wrong. Like, it's wrong canonically. And later authors have retconned this in a few different ways. One is being referred to as the Potentium heresy. The other way they've retconned this is, I forget who was responsible for this. It might have been, I know it was one of the authors of the Legacy of the Force series, retconned Vergir as being Sith, an outright Sith, and what she was teaching Jason was an attempt to corrupt him to the dark side. And so the what is essentially the Grey Jedi thing is now, because of Legacy of the Force, and because there was this this view that was put forward by this character that was supposed to be a kind of, old Jedi Order wisdom, but was, obviously led Jason to the dark side, and was obviously going to. She gets retconned to be a Sith, because otherwise this view is it doesn't make sense for a Jedi teaching Jason to be putting forward this view, right, of this what is essentially something like a gray Jedi code type thing. Not literally the gray Jedi code, but this Potentium view. So basically, this gets retconned into being that the whole Grey Jedi thing.
Dare to push me?
I can't shoot you. Why can't I shoot you? I hate this. I hate Force Grips so much. But basically, this all happens because authors were disagreeing with each other, were fighting, and that's a fascinating little story development for me. So Imsimp, I have not yet seen Andor season 2. I have lost all trust in modern Star Wars writers to the point where I want to wait until the whole thing is out to make sure that the ending isn't going to ruin it, because too many series have been like that lately.
Dare to push me? Save your strength,
Where'd he go?
fool.
Where'd he go? He's right there, okay.
Dare to push me? Save your strength, fool.
Jeez. Hey, Nick. Yeah, I mean, on the note of modern Star Wars or new canon or Disney canon, that sort of thing, I will say I did actually really like the first season of Andor. And I also do think that it largely just fits in with the EU. It's very obviously not part of the EU, but it does fit in decently well, because I basically, for example, when I write my tabletop setting stuff, I mostly defer to the EU.
Save your strength.
But I included elements from Andor. I included characters like Saw Gerrera. I included characters like Luth and Rail and that sort of thing. Partially just because they're really well written, especially in that show.
Save your strength, fool.
But also just because I think that the events of it do mesh decently well with the rest of the EU. Not perfectly. There are issues, obviously. There are inconsistencies, because it's not intended to work with the EU, but whatever.
Save your strength, fool.
Stop with the frickin' dark side powers, man.
Save your strength, fool. Save your strength, fool. Save your strength, fool.
Ah, God! Wrong button. Okay. That's really bad. God, that range is stupid.
Your efforts are
Oh, come on, don't do that.
and so the strong survive.
Okay, Nick asks, and this is a different Nick than Klaus, whose actual real name is also Nick, but this is gonna get confusing. Nick asks how I feel about Rebels and the upcoming Maul production. Rebels has some problems. Overall, I would say that it's pretty good. Pretty good. But it does have some serious problems.
Run, Catan!
Yeah, I should use lightning. No, because it drains all of my force down, like, all at once. Like, I don't want to do that. Come on. Now the upcoming Maul production, that's a comic, right? The Maul thing? Or is that meant to be an actual series? Or movie, even. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not actually sure.
Does a Jedi run from battle? You dare to push me?
Yeah, sometimes.
Dare to push me? All too easy. Dare to push Dare to push me? Dare to push me? Save your strength, fool. All too easy.
Oh yeah, the Kanan and Hera stuff is much better. Like, Hera is one of my favorite characters from New Star Wars.
What a pathetic
Probably
attempt.
my favorite Disney character. My favorite Disney Star Wars character. Did I kill him? Oh, yeah, there we go. 4 speeds how to do it. Oh, Sam Witwer talked about. I mean, he just loves the character, so that could just be him talking about it because he's kind of the voice of the character, the face of the character, even to some degree. Yeah, MSEP avoid spoilers. I would be wanting to probably avoid spoilers too, even if I had seen him, just because, you know, general audience. Just came out like 3 days ago or something, so I haven't seen him yet. Like I said, I'm gonna wait and kind of hear a consensus at the end of the season. Because that's the end of the show. So, and then if it's still good, if it manages to stay good all the way through, hey Jan, then yeah, absolutely, I will. I'll enjoy it like I did the first one. So, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, Klaus says, Rebels is sharply divided. Ezra and Sabine and most of what they do are cringe. Kanan and Hera, most of what they do are great. Zeb is hit and miss. And then there's
Kyle,
the
Jan,
lore stuff, which
someday you're gonna have to teach me how to do that.
Thanks for taking care of the Raven's Claw.
It was the least I could do for the pair of mercenaries who saved the Jedi Academy. I know you've probably heard this before, but the New Republic is forever in your debt.
You should have known it would take a failed Jedi to take out another failed Jedi.
Kyle, you were never a failure.
Luke,
I know. I'll be happy to hold your lightsaber for safekeeping.
No, I think I'll keep it.
Ha! I knew it! Lando owes me 5 credits.
Are you sure this is what you want, Kyle?
Look, I'm not saying I'm ready to join the Academy or anything like that. I mean, before I do anything, I figure that Jan and I have earned a long vacation on the beaches of Spyra. And after that, well...
After that, we'll see.
Yeah.
Take your time, Kyle. We'll still be here when you're ready.
Thanks, and may the Force be with you, Luke.
I imagine that was really hard to animate. I'm gonna try and skip so I don't get too badly copyright struck. Oh, come on, don't do this. There we go. I'm just gonna Alt-Tab, let it play without sound so I can yap at you guys while the credits roll and I don't get too badly copyright struck, like I said. I will say that there are lore issues. They stick with the whole the lightsaber crystal attunement thing, which I know it's technically new canon thing, but it's also directly contradicted by other things, even in new canon. It's directly contradicted by the Clone Wars, where Jedi, first of all, the Jedi Padawans find their lightsaber crystals, which are already colored, and then also by the Jedi Temple guards, the guys with the dual sabers that the Grand Inquisitor originally was one, which is also directly contradicting the show, because in the Clone Wars, the Jedi Temple guards, the Guardians, whatever they were, the yellow dual saber guys are, or saber staff guys, not dual saber. It was a rotating anonymous position, and at one point canonically Obi-Wan Kenobi was one. So there you go, right? And this was new canon. This is not EU. But yeah, it is just a rotating position, and so if you're going to expect me to say that they've just got a whole bunch, they've got like one guy in the basement who can attune yellow crystals and just attunes all of these crystals to him so that they're yellow, and then he just hands out these dual sabers to the Jedi Temple guards. Like, no, that's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. No, they're yellow because they're yellow, and when you take on that position, you get a lightsaber that has yellow crystals in it. Like, it's... Anyway, I'm sorry. I hate that bit of lore. I really hate that little crystal attunement magic bullshit thing. It's really irritating. But now that said, there were some books in the EU that kind of drifted in that direction, and I despise those too. I don't despise the books. I despise that this element of the books. Oddly, one of the books, the duology featuring Jaden Core, who's Kyle Katarn's Padawan. Jaden Core is the protagonist of the second game, the one we're about to start probably tonight. Unless you guys want me to do something else, I might just do something else for a little bit while we talk. But yeah, it's Jaden Core, the Jaden Core duology, which is Rip Current and Riptide and Cross Current. These were written pretty late, like 2010, 2011, something like that. They involve him sort of purifying a lightsaber crystal and turning it from red to red to, I if it's orange or yellow, through meditation, basically. And I don't like that. Also, lightsabers are apparently in this weird little thing powered by the Force, and a sufficiently powerful Force user can, or not a Force user. There's these Umbaran twins in the book, in the second book in Crosscurrent, that can push the Force away from them, basically like in a Salamiri. And then when a lightsaber goes into their little null force bubble, the lightsaber shorts out, because in this version of the lore, lightsabers are powered by the Force, which they never were. Like, lightsabers work just fine on Merkir. They work just fine on Yuuzhan Vong, aside from the armor. They work just fine in the presence of a Salamiri. Like, that's never been a thing. And then, but I think the reason for that is that was the direction that a lot of the lore masters wanted to go very late. And that's the kind of the direction that Disney canon was thinking about. Like, Disney was thinking about going before the canon actually officially switched, which is why you have some of these late additions to the EU that include some things that are sort of typical more of Disney canon than of the old EU. The ones, the quote, what are now called the quote Mortis gods, that were previously just called the ones, the father, son, and daughter. That gets tied in pretty substantially in Fate of the Jedi, which, again, great series. I like what they did with them because they made them Celestials. There we go. They made them Celestials, which were the ancient precursor race that made Centerpoint Station, that made the Maw, that separated the unknown regions, that potentially even created the hyperspace barrier around the edge of the galaxy, things like that. But yeah, they made them Celestials, who basically became one with the Force and then remanifested from the Force into corporeality, and then guided the creation of all of this ancient powerful technology bullshit, and then isolated themselves off to Mortis, which is a really cool thing to do with those characters, because making them manifestations of the Force or gods of the Force or whatever is really, really stupid, because that's what Rebels does with them. Hate that. Hate it. Anyway. Yeah, I'm really hoping that the second season of Andor is at least as good as the first, because if it is, then awesome. Finally, some good Star Wars that I haven't already read. Now, that said, there's a lot of good Star Wars that I haven't read. If you've seen my recommended reading list, which is linked down there, if you've seen that, then you know that most of my Star Wars reading is post Return of the Jedi. Most of what I've read of the Star Wars EU is post Return of the Jedi. There's a lot of Old Republic stuff that I'd like to read eventually, but I have not. So, hey, maybe I will. What I'm saying is, there's so much good Star Wars out there to enjoy. The fact that it ended in 2013 is not the disaster that we often think of it as. You'd like my opinion on the Byzantine tax code. Taxation is theft. There's my opinion. Wait, did it? Wow, it successfully vanished. It is successfully vanishing my cup, but not my hand. Wow. NVIDIA is really impressive. That's a purely software solution, by the way. That's not like, I don't have that impressive a video card. Man, that's cool. No chroma key, no green screen, nothing. It's just... That's a little wonky there. Alright, well, shoot. Let's see what I can do. Okay. Meanwhile, can I put a poll in the chat? Yeah. Um... Here. I started a poll. I've never done this before. There you go. I've started a poll in the chat. What shall we do next? Knowing that we're halfway through tonight's stream. That meaning we've got at most another hour and a half. That could get us through the like intro and tutorial, at least, of Jedi Academy, if you want. Or we can go back to Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. That is an option. Yeah, that's an option. Who voted for that? Who are you? Who voted for this? Anyway, I'm thinking about it because again, it's something that I forget. I forget what we were even doing. No, I have not completed. I have not completed that goofy game. No, not. Imsim says that they felt that taxing anyone excessively was wrong. If you couldn't pay your taxes for that year, if your land wasn't profiting, you were given an exemption. This was because Byzantines believed that hell was a real place your soul could be condemned to. And the second coming could be at any moment. They felt taxing unfairly would get their souls condemned by God for being greedy. Well, yeah, I'm in agreement with that so far. By the way, what Foundation, to clarify, what Foundation is a basically it's a chill medieval city builder game. That's really cool. I really enjoy it, and I have made one major location for my D&D setting, and I'm gradually working on another one. So I can show you around that, around the game, because it's also a great thing to just sort of kind of do passively while I yap about stuff. So if you'd like me to do that, I can do that too. It's not nearly as focus intensive as the boss fight here, which I cannot. By the way, I cannot believe how quickly I took him down that last run through, that last attempt. Like, force speed is really good. Speed's really good. All right, you know what? Sure, let's go for it. Let's. I'm gonna have to change up my formatty stuff, but whatever, it's fine. All right, ending poll. I'm going with the option that no one picked, and going for a Foundation. End poll. Please and thank you. There we go. All right, let's close this out. Let's see if I can actually get this to work. By the way, I have no idea. First of all, move these things around. There. All right, let me see if I can. This. Properties. That one. There we go. Capture cursor for this. We want to use the cursor. Hook rate normal. There we go. Hey, it's working. It's working. It's working. I need to shrank it a little bit. We're still going to have the chat up here. It's going to be a little bit goopy, but it'll work. It should do the jump. What is this? Oh, I can get rid of that. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Cool. This is foundation. Hey. All right. Anyway, this is foundation. It's nice. I'm gonna load a different one. I'm gonna load in Montevideo. And Montevideo is the capital of one of the major nations of my D&D world. Mods. I didn't even know there were mods for this game. I mean, I should have known there were mods for it. This is a big one, so I really hope this is not going to like crash everything, but let's give it a shot. Imsib says, is all pre-schismatic Eastern Roman history just Eastern Catholic history, and really the legacy of the Catholic Church and not the Orthodox Church that has hijacked the monopoly on Eastern Christendom? I think it's more nuanced than that. Sorry, no. I think it's less nuanced than that. I think that pre-schism church history is just church history. And then the schism happened, and then there was a schism. Uh-oh. Here. Anyway, here's our delightful little capital city. All right, to give us a little tour. So how I wound up building this place out was it started off here, this region, this little area. Was the first part of the first little settlement, right in this little area with this nice little manor house, a little village square, nice little church. And then I eventually just gradually built it out into, adding some walls, adding some crop fields, adding some sheep fields, things like that. Some more fields and things. I expanded out eventually, made another church in sort of the outskirts of town, near some mining. And then eventually, we developed a castle, a nice little protective fortifying castle. The tower is comically large, just for practical purposes, for the point of it being a treasury. But it's a fantasy world. You can do that. I can get away with that nonsense. And then eventually, once this castle was built up, and the population continued to grow, we started expanding outwards. Eastward. Building more houses, building more markets, and then building on the outskirts of town, or what was at the time the outskirts of town, the monastery. Our gorgeous monastery, which started off as a nice little church with a little attached nunnery and monastery, and then it spread out into it has its own little garden, it has its own grand cathedral, it has its own cloister, its own statuary garden, a vineyard, even inside the city walls, because the city walls only afterwards grew or were built up around the monastery. And so at some point, once the population got big enough, the city was these two parts and pieces here. And then eventually, we expanded outwards further, and the main castle was built. The big defensive castle was built. Once again, outside the city's main walls, and then the city wall was extended, and then extended slightly again. And more little market squares were built. Another little church, a relatively large church actually. A nice tavern. Plenty of fishermen. The one thing that's a little bit of a drawback for this is that there's no like sea trade, there's no docks. Which this would be a port town, but there's no real incentive to make a town on the water aside from fishing, which quite a bit of fishing, but anyway, this is like I said, a delightful little town. I like it very much. It is a really nice city, like a bustling city. The problem is that if I have more than a population of what I have now, which is about 550, much bigger than this, the game starts to lag like really badly, because it actively simulates every citizen and everything that they're doing throughout the day. Like, if you see all these little dudes, like, look. This is right here. This is a monk. He's getting water. They're walking under this warehouse to get back to the monastery. And here they go. Look. Every single person, every single one of the 550 people is actively doing things. It's moving around the town, moving around the city. So making it much bigger than 550, like, you know, citizens. Is very, very difficult. It gets unwieldy relatively quickly. But otherwise, I will say I absolutely love it. It's a really fun game. I heartily recommend it. I will say as well, this is one of those instances of a game that I initially pirated. Like I got it, I just found it, you know, on the back of a truck somewhere, and I downloaded it to try it out, to test it, and then I wound up buying it. Not because it was like, oh, I need more features to it, or oh, I need support for. No, I just bought it because it's a good game and it was worth buying and worth supporting, so I can have it on Steam. Anyway, so yeah, here it is. It's this is I highly recommend it. Anyway, I'm gonna switch to the other town that I'm in the process of making. This one's more or less completed. Like this, in Monte Stay, in the hands of God. By the way, this translates to. In Monte Stay is more or less where it needs to be. It's basically complete. There's also another statuary garden over here by the castle, I should mention. But someone built their house in the middle here. I really should have just told them no and had them demolish that, but this is the house of, at least some of them are people who work in the castle and people who are builders, like for the statuary garden, so whatever. I let them keep it. It's fine. It's fine. And then more fields. Great deal of forests, which I've been gradually tearing down, but also there are hog hunters here. As you can see, there are hogs as they hunt. Imsip, you've been praying in Ovino for Pope Francis. Oh, amen. I have not yet. I've not really, but we are in fact all set of Acanthus till the conclave, technically, because the seat is in fact the seat of Peter. The chair of Peter is in fact empty for the time being, so that's technically correct. It felt a lot of harmony from praying the rosary, spending time with Blessed Mother. Wonderful. Beautiful. I'm wondering, I don't actually think that our parish has done a perpetual adoration. Our parish has started really liking doing adoration, perpetual adorations. And I wonder if we will be doing one for the conclave maybe, or something like that. Anyway, let's go, let's switch. Haven't quit. Aims to pass, will you implement the Byzantine tax code and not confiscate the land of serfs who had a bad harvest? Well, okay, the taxation system in this game is it does exist. There is taxation. But it's not, like, harsh at all. It is it's the equivalent of sales tax, basically. It is a tax on production, more or less. But anyway, this is the capital of the province that my D&D party is currently in. This is what's called Novia Dunham, the province of Novia Dunham, as it existed early on. Now, I want to show you some of the cool mechanics here. For example, removing resources. This is our what is essentially in the game. This is the Wizard's Tower. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove, or have workers remove, the trees inside his little courtyard. For example. Oh no, I don't at all get annoyed with any kind of lore dropping. I'm probably autistic. I don't mind at all. I'll also point out for this, forewarning, I put this on the easiest mode. This map in particular is on the easiest mode. I have this set to basically like auto fast building, easy like happiness meter stuff. Because my goal for this was to build the city rather than to like meet challenges or whatever. So yeah, it is not currently. I'm not actually in a state of doing difficult things really. So not to give you the wrong impression of the game. I have it. In other words, I have it set on easy mode. I should show you. Oh hey, a quest. First weapon crafted. Sparks fly. The steel hardens. The village's first weapon is formed, bolstering their combatants who realize they will soon wield these symbols of strength. Cool. This is the armory. Yeah, there's already 100 spears in the armory. Good lord. Okay. Here's my militia, my guards, my castle company. Some barracks and stuff. Royal office. The manor. This, as you can see, there is already the city wall that is kind of cutting through the forest. I'm going to have to clear out a little bit out and around the wall of forest gradually. But I'm doing it very gradually because I'm also just, collecting timber. Another thing you can do is... Not here. Like I said, I have it on easy mode, so I have everything unlocked as well. But where is it? Trade. Here's trade. So I have trade routes where I can sell planks. And let's sell everything above 100. So whenever I have 100 planks, cut planks, whenever there's a neighboring town that wants to buy them, they will. My guys will sell anything above that. I'm also going to reduce taxation substantially. Not too substantially. Yeah, that'll do. Reduce taxes reasonably. Because I'm going to be getting plenty of money through trade. So, there you go. Hi, Zachary Swan. How are you? Yes, do you think that Kyle sort of has his cake and eats it too in Outcast? Might take a couple of comments to type to length. So I think I know what you're getting at, and I'll start talking about it. But you go finish typing. I'll begin talking about that general idea because I do think so. I think that you're overall correct. He first of all does not wish to fully commit to the Jedi, which is its own little problem, right? His lack of commitment to the Jedi while still, carrying a lightsaber and holding the authority of a Jedi and all of that stuff, is something of a problem. Yes. And then further, the whole he uses dark side powers and gets his and has drawn power from the what was it, the well? What was it called? The thing. The thing. Yeah, it's in general, it's not it's not good. You can cut those down too, guys. Go ahead. This is the area that they can use for cutting down lumber. Which, basically I want this entire top of this hill to be cleared. This is the town area. So, yeah. But yeah, I do think that is a problem. And frankly, it's a problem. It's a significant problem that Luke's Jedi have, more generally. I'm going to have them move that tree in particular and that tree in particular. There. But I will say, so it's a problem that really only gets addressed by the Swarm War, which is after the Yuuzhan Vong War, where Luke basically takes unilateral control over the Jedi Order, and he takes it over and he makes it. He gets the whole thing completely under his control, which was an extreme measure at the time, and it was kind of it was extremely controversial, and he did it at the time primarily to get people to object to his doing so, which, I mean, backfired and got him absolute control over the Jedi Order. So, you know. Do I have anything that needs more people? Where's the butcher? Where's my butcher? There's a smelter. Where's the butcher? Oh, there's the butcher. Okay, that's already fully equipped. Okay. Okay, do need watchman. Yeah, there we go. Got all my new citizens assigned to the watch. Okay, so let me go through all of Zachary's post. Okay, so Kyle turned away from the Force due to the fear of falling to the dark side, like he did in Mysteries of the Sith. He almost submits and almost kills defenseless Tavian on Bespin. Tavian, right? Tavian, whatever. The dark side woman. The only reason he turns away is because she reveals Jan is alive. Although he overcomes his fear by the end of the game and his self-doubt, he only really turned away in that moment due to learning the reason for his vengeance is null. He doesn't actually have to come to terms with Jan's death and overcome his hatred. It just seems like he gets his cake and eats it too, i.e. Jan's still alive and overcoming his fear of falling to the dark side. Still really love Outcast and its story, though. I like Jan, so I'm glad she's alive. Just quick nitpick point of discussion. Yeah, I do think that's always kind of a weakness of Kyle's character, and I will say as well, as much as Kyle shows up in the later EU, Jan I don't think ever does. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, I don't know if she ever shows up outside of the essentially the Dark Forces series. Like, she's not even mentioned in. Let me think. Where does Kyle show up? Very briefly in New Jedi Order near the end, because New Jedi Order was being written around coterminously, around the same time as Jedi Outcast, give or take. I'm going to speed this up, which you can do, by the way, up to 3 times. It was being written at around the same time as Jedi Outcast. So, yeah, I know she wasn't in New Jedi Order. I don't think. No, she was not in Legacy of the Force either, in the Second Galactic Civil War, even though Kyle Katarn has a major role to play in that. He almost dies. It's kind of stabbed a little bit. He was really badass, to be honest. Yeah, he plays a major role in Legacy of the Force, but Jan's not in it at all. Let me see. I don't think she was in Fate of the Jedi, but I haven't finished my reread with that in mind. She's not in the first, 4 books of it? 4 books of the series, which is what I've read so far. Silence of the Commoners. Okay, there's plenty of housing that I can upgrade. Oops. Wobbly. Okay. Yeah, Zachary says she barely does, from my knowledge. Haven't read the full EU, but know the whole macro of it from reading the depth of Wikipedia for 2 decades. Yeah, I always say I recommend reading it, especially now that it's done. It's complete. It's a whole series now. It's finished. The EU is done. So at this point, there's never been a better time than to start reading the EU. So I always highly recommend reading it. And I've got a list of recommendations in a video that's linked in the description. Check it out. If you've ever thought about reading it, now is a great time. Especially, I will say, especially too, because audiobooks, including especially now these days, fully unabridged audiobook productions of so much of the EU is now available, and a lot of it's free. And I mean legitimately free. I don't mean like go on Audiobook Bay and illegally download it, which you can do that if you want, but even just like free versions of the audiobooks of decent quality of so many of the these audiobooks you can just get. And like I said, they're legitimately free, and it's phenomenal. Never been a better time than to start reading the EU. I always insist. Do I need... I need more employees at the granary. Yeah, and the other granary. And one more at the warehouse. Lever. Where's my baker? Is this my baker? Or this is... No, it's a granary. Where's my bakery? Oh, it's full. Okay, full. Let's... Yeah, okay, that's fine. My smithy. Where's my smithy? I know I tried to keep it away from everybody, but how far? Oh, there it is, blacksmith. Okay, no, we're good there. We're good there. Alright, let's put people to work in the warehouse. There. Okay. And the granary. Alright. Let's turn it back down. Anyway, yeah, so Zach says, Zachary says, I think she rescued Kyle from some dark Jedi around 3080Y. I don't know much about that. 3080Y. 3080Y was the Swarm War? I want to look. Let me see. Yeah, 3080Y was right after the Yuuzhan Vong War. That was right at the end of the Yuuzhan Vong War. And then there's a 5-year gap in the EU. Yeah, while Jason was on his weird little walkabout spiritual journey through the galaxy, there was a gap in the EU between the New Jedi Order and the Swarm War. So I don't know, that's weird. Unless it was just referred to at some point. I think it was referenced in something. But yeah, I don't know of that. Yeah, Zachary's finishing up the Callista trilogy, but 40 pages away from finishing Planet of Twilight. Then gonna read Lightsider. I haven't. Lightsider. I've heard of it. That's the one... No. I was thinking of Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor, which I still also haven't read. Kind of want to. I haven't heard of Lightsider. Yeah, I've got a series going talking about different parts of the EU. I kind of want to do a video talking about the weird little like the authors fighting each other, and therefore the lore inconsistencies that lead to some cool things like added lore bits, like having to do with like I was saying about the Potentium view becoming officially, like, canonically a Sith psyop, that kind of thing. Like that's really cool. That's a neat topic. That's a neat idea. It's a neat way of building lore and everything. I think it's really cool. Let's add citizens. Ever play Age of Empires? I never really get into it too much. Klaus, clarify. What do you mean my favorite author? Or do you mean my favorite author or my favorite argument? Or clarify. Welcome to the Discord, Zachary. It's good to have you. Yeah, some Dark Jedi captured him in the region known as the Cloak of the Sith. Might be a short story. Yeah, it could be a short story. It could be one of the Oh, I wonder if it was one of the short stories that was like a tag-on piece to the new Jedi Order. I know there were quite a few of those. Quite a few of that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, favorite argument between authors in the EU that result in a retcon or inconsistency. Vergier. It's got to be Vergier. It's not an inconsistency. It's just an argument that is never resolved. And it's not like they didn't have time to resolve it. It just isn't resolved. Like, the question of, was Vergier a Sith? Was she a Darksider? Was she intentionally corrupting Jason? There is evidence for and against, like really strong evidence, both directions. And that's how you can tell that this was just authors having completely different ideas of it. I think it was Matthew Stover, right? Who wrote Unifying Force. Where Vergier... Wait, it wasn't Unifying Force. I forget which book it was, where she appears as a Force ghost. Briefly. Which should not be possible if she is, at that point at least, a Sith. Or a Darkside user. Yeah, son. We finished Outcast. We're just goofing around in Foundation while I yap about mostly Star Wars. I've welcomed 100 villagers to my growing community. Still small, the spirit of cooperation shines through. It is a hopeful beginning as you lay the foundation of future dreams. Wonderful. I should start building a monastery. Once I clear this area. Once I clear this. Housing insufficient. Then build more houses. You can build houses. You're allowed to build houses. This whole area in green is housing. Build houses. Losers. Oh, okay. So, Zachary, good question. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, Vergier is my favorite argument between authors, and whether she was actually a Sith or not, my favorite argument. I tend to lean towards she was not a Sith, but she was absolutely a Darksider, and was absolutely intentionally corrupting Jason. Oh, Imsim asks if I play video games by myself. Yeah, I do, sometimes. I don't have as much time, but I do sometimes. This game, for instance, I've built a good amount of a town here. I definitely did most of this off stream, so. But yeah, generally, Zachary, I am generally a fan of Kevin J. Anderson. He's not my favorite Star Wars author, though. I share some of Klaus's annoyances with his style. He's extremely minimalistic. Do I ever call my wife over to see my town or something you do in a game? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes she'll even come over and see. But yeah, he's extremely minimalistic when it comes to like fleets and military stuff, which is not necessarily bad. But he's on the extremely minimalist end of the spectrum, whereas the extremely maximalist end is absolutely Dark Empire, right? So like the entirety of Dark Empire is wildly maximalist. Like, it's kind of insane just how what did I say? Just how massive the fleets and militaries are in Dark Empire compared to every other piece of Star Wars media. So there's this flip flop of extremities, right? So Dark Empire, you can have fleets of literally thousands of capital ships, and that's kind of normal. Whereas for most of what Anderson writes, like a pair of Star Destroyers is a galaxy-wide threat. Or in Natasi Dalla's case, in Jedi Academy trilogy, she has four. She has four ISD-1s in what is it, like 7 or 8 ABY? Or sorry, BBY? No, ABY. I got it right the first time. She's got like 4 ISD-1s. Only 3 of them make it out of the maw. Wait, did 3? Or is it only 2? It's 2 or 3 make it out of the maw. And that's treated as a galaxy-wide threat. That is that's a take. 11. Oh, okay, 11 ABY. Okay, no, that tracks. That tracks. Thrawn was about 6 or 7, right? Or 8. Because Zinj was defeated in 5. I think it was 5. Something like that. Surplus tools for beer. See, I need these resources as well. I have enough tools. I can do it. Yeah, let's see if we can make a better deal. Let's get 300 beer. Confirmed delivery. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Zachary says, interesting point about the difference in scale between authors. I think it's an interesting discontinuity in the EU, especially the debates about the size of the clone army in the Clone Wars. Oh, yeah, well, that's because there was a line in the Clone Wars saying that there was 100,000 troops. Or, 100,000 units. Well, what is a unit? That's the debate, right? Does a unit mean a single trooper, or does a unit mean a platoon? Because if it's a platoon, that makes sense for a galactic scale war. If it's a single clone, and the clone army starts with 100,000 clones, that's probably how many died in the Battle of Geonosis. Like, stop. Stop it. Please. A Venator class Star Destroyer has a crew of 36,000. Do I like Matt Wilkins' channel? I've not subscribed. I know I've seen some of his stuff, but it's been a while. In general, though, I will say I like Kevin J. Anderson for a lot of his character stuff, especially. A lot of his character work. That said, my favorite EU authors are Michael Stackpole and what's his name? Aaron Alston, the X-Wing authors. They're absolutely my favorites. Absolutely my favorites. I need to check them out again then. There's a lot of the ins and outs of the behind the scenes of the EU. Very cool. I just watched a documentary series a few weeks ago on the making of the New Jedi Order series. And it's really impressive because it was a huge collaborative effort. It's really impressive. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Zachary, you're in for a treat. It is so good. Like, they're both really pulpy military sci-fi authors. They've done military sci-fi in other contexts as well. Alston, I think, has also written Halo books, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't read any, unfortunately. And Stackpole has written for a few different franchises. I think BattleTech most notably. I think some Halo as well. I'll see if I can find the documentary. You might be able to search for it in Discord. I think I shared it in Discord. I'll see if I can find it though. I'll put it in the description after we're done streaming if I can. Yeah, I'll see if I can. Yeah, Klaus is correct. Zahn, Stackpole, and Alston are the backbones of the early EU that started it all. Very much so. And that said, though, this is controversial, but what is this? I'm supposed to make a meaty cooking pot. What in the world is that? Is that the provisioner? Yes? Yeah. I don't know. That's not bad. Yeah, I know, right? How meaty is the provisioner? Indeed. Does this actually improve its quality at all? No, okay. It just makes it silly. There, make it a little taller. Let's give it a chimney. Ooh, can I just not put a chimney here? I can. There. Built. Okay, assign function. Berry and boar. Sure. What do I have? Yeah, I have a lot of fish. I can do fish and boar. I need a cook. Shoot. I don't have any workers. I don't have a cook. Okay, I can't make a cook. That's fine. That's not a meaty cooking pot though. What how do I make a meaty cooking pot? That's not what that was? Shoot. Anyway, Ameson says, speaking of writing, I'm trying to create a female police officer who's a wife, mother, practicing Catholic. She's still feminine at the same time. She's tough so she can protect her kids. I mean, since we're talking about Timothy Zahn, who's not my favorite EU author, but is, I mean, it's hard not to respect him. You can draw inspiration from Mara Jade. Mara Jade's a great character. How do I make a cooking pot? What is this? Mess hall? Alright, let's just make a separate little mess hall over here. And let's give it a door. Yeah, that'll work. Can I add a cookpot to it? What in the world? Not a room. Is it a decoration? I'm gonna add it to this. There. There! Mess hall needs transporters. Imsimp, that is another good question, and it is one that I probably want to make a video about, frankly. I will address it, though, before I get too deep into things. Anyway, though, before I do, Zachary asked some questions first. It says, I've read Revan, Plagueis, Dark Lord Trilogy, Thrawn Trilogy and Duology, Jedi Academy, Callista Trilogies, Dark Forces novellas, Dark Empire 1 and 2, Bloodlines from Legacy of the Force. That's a weird one to just jump into, but okay. Debating what's next. I always just say go chronologically. Start at Truce at Bakura and just go. Skip ones that seem skippable to you, or follow my recommendations. That's always what I would say. Like I said, I would go chronological, within a time period chronological. You don't necessarily have to start with, Dawn of the Jedi and go chronological all the way through like that. That seems a little bit excessive to me, but, I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to promote her. Oh, wait, I need a bailiff, don't I? Joffrey is the bailiff. What? Why can't I promote? I don't have a church. Huh? What? Huh. I can't promote yet. Why? I have a bailiff. Why can't I promote? Do I need a church? I probably need a church. Which means I need to clear this. So. Let's just clear this area of trees, shall we? Because I need to build a monastery over the... Oops, what is that? What is this? I don't want to clear whatever that is. I might need it. Okay, what is it? It's just stone, right? No, it's iron. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fine. I have iron resources elsewhere. I am a fan of KOTOR, and the era. I have, in fact, I've played KOTOR 1 and 2 on live stream. I think the playlist might even be linked. Either way, you can find the playlist on my channel, for sure. You read Bloodlines as a kid, 12-ish. When it came out, because it had Boba Fett on it, and that was fascinating. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That is pretty cool. You've read bits of Swarm War and Legacy of the Force, but bits and pieces need to actually read through. Yeah, again, the series, just read through in order, I would say, for sure. I mean, the what's it called? The Bantam era, the later stuff, that really kind of needs to be read in order. The Del Rey era, the earlier, like the 90s stuff, doesn't necessarily need to be read in order. You can go kind of jump around for those. You can. I still like them in order, but... Oh yeah, for sure, go for it. Like I said, I always welcome you to go back and watch some of my old live streams, because I've got them all up. They're all up. They're all up there. I don't take my live streams down or do the whole like re-uploading thing. So they're all there. Yeah, so, alright. Imsim says, I haven't reasoned for that. I haven't reasoned that far, but I think of Luke and Leia in the sense that the husband is also great with weapons. They're also strong, so they can protect each other and their kids. What's the relationship between Luke and Mara? How are they as parents? Yeah, Mara is pretty spicy to Luke, but loving in her own way. She becomes Mama Bear to Ben. Yeah, she absolutely becomes Mama Bear. Because she was the Emperor's hand. She was an assassin. Right? She was, first and foremost, a highly trained and extremely dangerous assassin. By training and by temperament. Both, very much so. And so, part of what that means is that she was... she once in a while has those tendencies. I don't want to spoil anything from Legacy of the Force. But in order to protect Ben, she does at one point kind of go on a... She goes back into old habits, let's put it that way. Briefly. And it leads to some... It leads to some issues, let's say. I don't want to get into too much because it's a major spoiler. It's a huge, massive, important spoiler, so I don't want to get into it too much. But, that aside, one of the issues that they have as parents is that they have the tendency to step away from Ben quite a bit. By which I mean, basically the first 2 years of his life, he was sequestered away in the place called Shelter, which was this shelter, this basically little young Jedi refugee facility in the Maw, because the Yuuzhan Vong were going after the Jedi and were trying to kill all of them, and children made easy targets for these, sadomasochistic warfare aliens. So yeah, there's that. And, them being big damn heroes throughout the galaxy means that they are not always there for Ben. And that is a conflict that they often had to have. It was kind of a problem. Actually, oh my god, I wish I had the book in front of me. Because I've been listening to the audiobooks. I don't even have the Fate of the Jedi books, the physical books. They're back at my parents' house still. Otherwise I'd read it. I want to find this quote. Because Ben absolutely, rips Luke a new one when they're talking about Abeloth. And they're talking about Ben's experience living in the Maw when he was 2 years old. His first 2 years of his life. And yes, Zachary, they did that. The Solos did that too. And it also did not turn out particularly well. Really, for any of them. Jaina turned out fine, I guess. But, I mean, she turned out perfectly fine, really. But she also, again, minor spoiler here, but she and her brother there was trauma involved with the two of them, between Jason and Jaina, let's say. But yeah, it was a problem that whole clan kind of has, because they have a tendency to put duty before family. But that is kind of a Jedi trait, or at least a mainline Jedi Order trait. I specify that because it's not a green Jedi trait at all, and that is one of the big conflicts that comes up between Corran Horn and the rest of the Jedi in Fate of the Jedi as well, because he has some serious obligations to his wife and children that are in some conflict with the Jedi Order, especially early on in the series. So yeah, that's an interesting little bit. I will add this as well. The Corellian Jedi they place loyalty to the Force, obviously first, but then it goes family, home, so the Corellian system and the Corellian people, then everything else, including the Jedi, including the galaxy or the Republic or the Galactic Alliance or whatever the galactic government happens to be, is underneath commitment to family and commitment to home system. And I will add that never once in the entire EU has there been a green Jedi, that is to say a Corellian Jedi, who has fallen to the dark side. Never once. In their, tens of thousands of years of history. Maybe they're onto something. Just saying. Maybe they're onto something. Anyway. Okay, so Zachary's saying, thinking of doing Truce at Bakura and Courtship of Princess Leia next. Maybe Shadows of the Empire in the X-Wing series. Move that order around a little bit. I would say to read the X-Wing series, or at least most of it, before Courtship of Princess Leia. I know Courtship was written first, but the X-Wing series, at least through Solo Command, which is the 7th, I think, leads directly into Courtship of Princess Leia, which adds a lot of weight to the conflict with Warlord Zinj. That Han is personally in a conflict with Warlord Zinj, and it's because of the events of the previous two Wraith Squadron books, the X-Men series, Alston, the ones written by Alston. But yeah, I would, like I said, I would recommend. Sure, Truce of Bakura is a good one, good start. Typically, I would say read Truce of Bakura, then go to the X-Men series. Then you can go to Princess Leia, Courtship of Princess Leia. That's what I would probably say. Because, like I said, X-Wing leads right into Courtship. Like, literally. The ending scene of Solo Command, which is, I think, the 7th book in the series, it leads directly into Courtship. Like, the opening scene of Courtship of Princess Leia happens, I think, minutes later. It's a lot like how one of the X-Wing books, the one after that, Izard's Revenge, takes place a while later. It takes place after the Thrawn campaign. But when I say after the Thrawn campaign, I mean it starts at the Battle of Bilbringi, but from a different perspective. So it starts from Wedge's perspective at the Battle of Bilbringi instead of the Admiralty's perspective. So it takes place. That book starts. That's Izard's Revenge, which I think the next one. I think it's the 8th book in the X-Men series. It starts right where the Thrawn trilogy leaves off. Literally with the same battle from a different perspective. It even includes like some of the same lines that you hear as comm chatter in The Last Command. You hear a bunch of comm chatter among the pilots, and Izard's Revenge starts with that comm chatter being given to specific Rogue Squadron pilots, and you see their side of things and what they're doing that's leading to this comm chatter. It's great. It's so well done. It's delightful. It's so it's a wonderful little experience to read those back to back. Anyway, those are my recommendations. Like I said, there is a lot to be gained by reading chronologically like that. Izard's Revenge leads into Dark Empire, kind of, but it doesn't lead directly. No. I don't like Dark Empire. I'm not a fan. The only things that Dark Empire really ties into is Jedi Academy, and therefore iJedi, which, by the way, if you haven't read iJedi, it's amazing. It is Corran Horn's perspective of the Jedi Academy trilogy, and it's just better. It's just better. It's a better Jedi Academy. The same story taken from a different perspective with some extra stuff off to the side. It has a different B plot, right? So it's still the Jedi Academy stuff as the A plot, but it's the B plot. Instead of being Han Solo and Kip Duron on Kessel, it's Corran Horn infiltrating a bunch of pirates to save his wife, which is like super badass. Yes, Klaus, that is a good point. Dark Empire ties into the Rise of Skywalker in a meta sense. That's true. It was heavily inspired. Okay, let's see. New outposts around the borders. Woodcutter camps wants you to make an offer. Oh, I need a lot of. No, I don't have. I don't have the storage space to gather that much lumber, so maybe next time. J.J. Abrams is not a creative person. What tipped you off to that? Was it Star Trek Into Darkness? Oh, sorry, I missed it. I missed this. So, Zachary asked, "What was how do I feel about Luke's relationship with Callista?" I know a lot of EU fans did not like it at all and are hardcore Mara Luke shippers. Yeah. One of my favorite little... Okay, hold on. One of my favorite images is that illustration of Luke talking with Callista with Mara in the background. Like, I just freaking love it. It fits with my meta shipping so well. Oh, wait, I have people I can assign to these roles, can't I? There we go. Yeah, I know it'll be permanently removed. Can you do that, please? please. Move it. Whatever. I'm gonna start making a monastery. How about that? I could just make a little church. You know what? Yeah, no. I'm just gonna make a nice little church. I'm gonna make it in the castle courtyard. There should be one in the castle courtyard anyway, right? No, oop, no, no, no. No, I don't want this. I want this to be the cave. Oops, not that. There. Nice little cruciform church. Bell tower's a little too high there. There. That's... There we go. That's good. Alright. And build. Skadoosh. It'll be done as a town. Yay! Oh, I need a church. I need a priest. That's right. Forgot. Anyway. Dark Empire would be better if they moved it a few years later. I don't know if they could have done much to improve Dark Empire. I don't know. Zachary says, I like Dark Empire mostly. My main gripe is they cram too much into the years of 9 to 12 ABY. That is true. They weren't set on if they were in the same canon timeline or not when they were publishing back in the day. That is true. That is true. It would have, yeah, maybe it would have helped if they moved it a little bit. But I don't know. I'm glad you know the image. Zachary says, another instance of too much crammed in the short time period. Darksaber has Dala attack the Jedi Academy in Yavin 4 in 12 ABY. Outcast also has the Imperials do the same thing in the same year. Oh god, that's right. Wait, was that Darksaber? Oh no, you're right, it was Darksaber. I was thinking she attacked it in Jedi Academy, but no, she doesn't. It was in Darksaber. Yeah. Yeah, true. That is, yeah, there's a lot crammed in there, you're right. You're absolutely right. I need a priest. But I can't yet. So let's wait. Wait until I get more immigrants. I could take somebody from another job, but I'm just gonna wait for more people to show up. Why not? Let's do it that way. Yeah. Oh yeah, they deal with God, Kyle and Jan deal with Mon Mothma and Outcast, but technically Mon has no official office in the Republic at the time. That's true. Leo's chief of state. I guess maybe the excuse is that she's just sort of working with New Republic intelligence, and therefore she's working as their handler or something. It's a bad excuse, but it's an excuse, I guess. I don't know. It's something. Yeah, let's go with that. I mean, to be fair, it would not exactly make sense for the chief of state to be the one handling a pair of secret agents. So, yeah, I get it. It does make a little bit more sense for that to be a Mon Mothma kind of thing. Or at least as somebody else. Somebody who's not the chief of state at the time. Also, yes, Winter. Yes, Klaus. Winter is another awesome female character. Who could have fulfilled that role as well, by the way. Winter would have been a really good person to bring in there instead of Mon Mothma into Jedi Outcast, honestly. That'd have been really cool. Like, it would make sense for her to have worked with Kyle Katarn, and I guess, and Jan Ors, I suppose, but with the two of them. It would make a lot of sense for her to work with them. Why can't I... Oh, I guess let's do this. Alright. But yeah, that would make a lot of sense, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah. The old EU had a lot of great female characters. Yeah, absolutely. That, yes, also, I will say, were great of their own accord. They weren't just like a, gender swap version of a cool male character, or they weren't made to be strong female characters per se. They just were. Winter, Mon, Dala, I don't like her as a villain. I insist that Dala was hilariously incompetent and also an absolute psychopath every time she appears. Also, Grand Moff Tarkin's side piece. So I will respectfully disagree there. I hate her. I don't even love to hate her. I just hate her. Okay, I'm laughing the whole time. Maybe I do love to hate her, but don't tell anyone. Mara Jade, Leia, Nomi Sunrider. Let's not forget who was I just thinking of? Isani Izard. Izard was by far the better Imperial woman supervillain. Iceheart. You haven't... Oh, that's why I was thinking this. You haven't read X-Wing. She is, she's Dala, but way smarter and way more terrifying. Way more competent, too. Extremely more competent. Yes, Rogue Squadron pulls one over on her, but only by tricking her subordinates, not by tricking her. She's a really genuinely competent mastermind. And it makes sense. Izani Izard is the director of Imperial Intelligence, and she has been for years, and is... I almost feel like Stackpole, when he wrote Izard, was one-upping Kevin J. Anderson writing Dala. I actually don't know which came first. Because Dala was at least rumored to be Tarkin's side piece, whereas Izard was rumored to have been having an affair with Emperor Palpatine. So, whether that's true or not, who can say? But, let's see. Was that really just 3 women who came into town? Yeah, it is. Well, okay, fine. That's... Anyway, yeah. Isani Izard, excellent. Excellent character. Imsim says, would you ever wear a toga and stand in the middle of campus and lecture like the philosopher's bold, shouting at the top of your lungs, "Youth of Florida, do not fall for the platitudes of the foolish who feed you lies. Come to me, and I shall show you the way to unlock the enigmas of life." Not in those words, but yeah. I fed class outside. Actually, I have videos of class outside, in fact. You can find them. They were some of my lectures on Anselm's philosophical dialogues, I think especially on the Fall of the Devil. I think I had outside. Basically, I just had class out in some picnic benches and tables and chairs and things, and taught philosophy. Not in a toga, but come to think of it, toga is almost appropriate for Florida in terms of climate. Zachary says, I might like her talking about Izard. Yeah, probably. I'll have to see when I get to the X-Men series. No worries on spoilers for me. I know most of the macro points. Yeah, no, it's really good. She's a great villain. I'm just gonna say, Michael Stackpole loves his femme fatale characters. Really loves his femme fatale characters, because you got her, you got Mirax Tarek, who is a good guy character, but still very femme fatale. And then you have Leonia Tavira, who is the I guess main villain of I, Jedi, and she is like the horniest Imperial ever. She's also like 4'8", which is hilarious. I love it. I love that book so much. Sorry. The van is we only have one car. No, like Eric works at home and I'm the only one who goes out, so we only have one car, and that's it. It's a minivan. It's the big old family minivan. Fits everybody in it barely. That's also the one we drove to Texas in, so that was fun. I'm glad we had a big enough vehicle for that sort of thing. Okay, so Zachary says, back to Callista. I like the romance Luke, her and Luke have, and like that it doesn't work. Okay, yeah, I can see that. It is an interesting story. I don't think that it's as dumb as a lot of EU fans think that it is. I can understand how it would develop that way. What Luke sees in her, what she sees in him, and how they could get together. But I also, like you said, I also can see why it doesn't work. And I'm glad that it doesn't work. Because if it had, I think it would have been forced. Does that make sense? Like, I don't like it. I think it's fine as a story point. I don't like it as a relationship development. That's what I would say. I think it does work as a story point. It's the only problem with it, if it can be really a problem. Hey, good. The only real problem is that again, it's another instance of the authors not really coordinating well, and I think that the development of the Luke and Mara relationship could have been more consistent, because there was also some weird implications in, was it Anderson's books? Was it Darksaber? Where it's implied that she and Lando are sleeping together or something like that. There's also, I actually don't know I don't think I believe this, but there is speculation among some fans, and I hope this is mostly memeing, but there is speculation among some fans that that Winter and Akbar had a thing. I don't think that that's correct, but whatever. Yeah, no, Klaus, Dala being Tarkin's side piece, that the rumors are not 50-50. There's not even odds. That is, she confirmed it. She confirms that. Like, it's true. Now, side piece is kind of dismissive and derogatory, I guess. But they were definitely romantically involved. Like, definitely. That's confirmed. As for Isard and the Emperor, yeah, I think your theory works. It's 100% excuse the men she passed in promotions came up with for why she wasn't actually smarter. Yeah, no, that's a perfectly reasonable answer. Imsimp, what makes you think I can afford a midlife crisis sports car? Anyway, Zachary says, you know what I didn't like? The Nichos droid thing in Children of the Jedi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the, like, human replicant droids, right? The ones that could be force sensitive? Or wait, are you thinking of the what are the knight, something knights? The ones that are like a force sensitive crystal in a droid body or something like that. Are philosophers still beggars like in the time of Socrates? Yeah, most of us. Some of us have tenure, but honestly, even those who have tenure, even tenured philosophy professors, are not exactly like wealthy. So, a tenured professor at a like a state school makes decent money, but decent, not great. Oh yeah. He transferred his. That's right. Okay, yeah. Cray's boyfriend that died tried to transfer his mind into a droid, but you can't do that. Yeah. Barbara Hanley, didn't she do that in... I don't know if it was exactly that, but I think it was her that did something similar in New Jedi Order with a guy who... why can't I promote? Oh, he needs rustic food and housing. What's wrong with rustic food and housing? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can promote some people. Not these guys. Why can't I? Why? I'm having problems here, but whatever. Oh yeah, Cray was the one Callista took over her body. Yeah, Luke Student, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Forgot. It's been a little while since I read that one. I did not read it on my recent reread through. I did skip the Callista trilogy. Anyway, I think I want to actually... Yeah, it's 11:45. I think I might call it a night. So. Oh, yeah. Take over the body of... Yeah, anyway. I think I'm going to call it a night. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you had a good time with Star Wars and for talking about Star Wars. And then potentially also, while we were yapping over a nice... Oh, good. Villager. Oh, okay. Eligible for new status. That's good. Now I can do it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Keep an eye out. I will be working on another video too. One probably just a clip, like a clip compilation thing, and then one. The next video I'm working on is on. It's related to the last one on culpability. It is on. Justifications and excuses, which are two ways of sort of mitigating or avoiding moral blame or mitigating culpability, and what differentiates them and why they're actually useful, that sort of thing. Hey, look, Klaus, it's not even midnight. Anyway, so yes, I'll be back on Tuesday playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I'll be back next Thursday, and we will be starting Jedi Academy. So. Thanks for joining me again. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. See you next time. Remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.